Welcome back. Let's talk about disruptive innovation. So, why is it so hard for large companies to sustain success? In fact, if you look across the sweep of business history, you'll always see companies which were once at the top and looked unassailable, but after a decade or two, found themselves in the middle of the pack or maybe at the bottom of the heap. In fact, many of them went out of business. And in almost all cases, there was some young, nimble startup which was responsible for the disruption. Now, many people put blame on the management. They said the management of these top companies were not smart or competent as compared to the startup. They just kind of fell out of league. So, that could be the reason why they really lost to this startup. But if you look closely, the management of these top companies were really smart. In fact, the company had a lot of money to hire the best. Moreover, these guys were the ones responsible to get these companies to the top in the first place. So it was really not the management. Moreover, if you look at the resources, these companies definitely had more resources than the startup. So they could easily copy the startup, if not outsmart them. So really what went wrong? And this was a puzzle which was looked at by many academic researchers. There was one Harvard professor called Clay Christensen who also studied it and put forward a theory called the Innovators Dilemma. Now, this theory really explains the situation really well. Basically, as per the theory, the reason why this happens is pursuit of profit. So, these large companies tend to listen to customers who are most profitable and, of course, also more demanding. And these guys tend to prioritize their requirements more than the customers in the low end of the market or even mid market. So, what ends up happening is their products and services tend to overshoot the functionalities required by the low end of the market. Now, this is where the startup or the entrepreneur finds an entry point. They develop product and service with functionality that's more suitable for this low end of the market. And of course, in comparison to the incumbent's offering, it's far lower in functionality, but it's generally more simpler product and of course lower in price. In fact, this is also called the minimum viable product. This generally has a wider appeal, so this tends to bring in more customer, so eventually expanding the customer base. But while the startup is gaining foothold in this low end of the market, the large established companies tend to ignore their success. They don't respond vigorously to the startup's initial success. And the reason is simple. Because it's far less profitable than continuing to serve their customers in the upmarket, which of course is more profitable. And this is really the dilemma. But once the startup has gained foothold in the low end of the market, they move up market. And as they move up market, they add more functionality to their core product, but they preserve the advantages that drove their early success. So what ends up happening is that the product that they come up with for the upmarket is far less complicated than the incumbent's offering. And at the same time, it's much cheaper too. Now, customers in the upmarket have an alternate product to choose from. They start embracing the startup offering for simplicity and price. Once mass adoption of this startup's offering happens, then the disruption has occurred. Come learn more about it through various case studies and workshops that we do here at UpTinker. It'll help uncover startup opportunities for your own self. Reach out to us using the link below. And thank you for watching.